Nigerians have been reacting to the Executive Order 7 on road infrastructural development and refurbishment investment tax credit scheme. Now, this scheme, recently approved by President Muhammadu Buhari, encourages public-private partnership in infrastructural development. Adeshawa Odushoga now reports.
Road construction in Nigeria is entering a new phase, with President Muhammadu Buhari signing the Executive Order 7. Some selected private sectors in Nigeria will now be involved in financing the construction of some federal roads in the country. The creation of this scheme could not have come at a better time than this, when major federal roads across the country are in a deplorable condition. Some analysts in the country have described this scheme as a welcome development.
It was a good one. I want to believe that it's in recognition of the fact that the government does not have the economic resources or the financial resources to build some of this critical infrastructure. We've been dealing with some of these roads that have been earmarked at the first instance for construction by the private sector. We've seen collapse and dilapidated highways that are hindering economic activities that will now be taken up by the private sector to build. But beyond that, I think it should be considered the first step towards evolving public-private partnership, where some critical infrastructure can actually be concessioned to the private sector to build, operate, and transfer.
I think it's a welcome idea coming from the government because if you look at the maintenance culture and the infrastructural development of the nation, you will see that the amount of money committed to it has greatly stopped a lot of other projects from being carried out in the country.
The analysts are of the opinion that the introduction of public-private partnerships in infrastructural development, particularly road construction, provides a win-win situation for both parties.
Well, in the case of the executive order, the private sector operators are supposed to recover their money from tax credit. I want to believe that for each of these projects they're going to build, the road projects, there will be evaluation report indicating the cost of the construction, and then they will be allowed to mark up to recover their cost of capital at a reasonable rate. So eventually, the tax credit they will get over time will be to amortize the cost of the construction and a reasonable return on the investment.
It's of benefit in several ways, to the companies, to the government, to the communities wherein those organizations actually operate. Also, it's a benefit to the professionals like engineers like myself because we're into construction. Also, it is of benefit to the smaller companies that operate around those bigger companies. If it's properly supervised, it is properly implemented, we are going to have a good result.
For an order that is being approved just at the tail end of the current administration, this scheme might face a problem of continuity in the face of a likely handing over.
Well, I think the greatest challenge they will face is the consistency of government policies and consistency of government, continuity of government. Should there be a change in government, they need to be assured that the new government will run with that executive order, since it's not a law passed by the National Assembly. So I want to believe that though they've gotten some of those concessions, I do not expect any major construction activities on any of those roads to take place ahead of the election. So the outcome of the election will determine whether they are going to go in to start construction or not.
I hope bureaucracy will not affect them in terms of submitting their bills to the government, in terms of getting their tax reduction forms assessed on time. Because one of the things that the bill is saying is that your tax is reduced. And that means you must submit the expenditure that you have incurred in ensuring that the roads are done. And also, you have to look at the procedure for ensuring that you have your approval to actually construct the road on behalf of the federal government.
Bad road network poses numerous challenges to commuters and the nation, ranging from slowdown of business activities to accidents, which sometimes leads to death. But the proposed synergy between the government and private companies raises hopes that these problems will be reduced to bare minimum. Adeshawa Odushoga, TV 360 Nigeria.